people say you're lazy. They say you don't try hard enough, that you waste time, procrastinate, and make excuses. But what they don't see is what you carry every single day. They don't see the weight sitting on your mind when you wake up in the morning, or the noise inside your head when everything around you goes quiet. They don't feel the pressure in your chest when you think about tomorrow, about responsibilities, about expectations. Yet they judge you only by what you produce, not by what you survive. And the truth is simple but powerful: you are not lazy, you are overloaded. From a very young age, we were taught a dangerous lie, that if you're not constantly working, you're failing. Rest was made to feel like shame, silence like weakness, and struggle like something to hide. So when you feel tired, not physically but deep in your soul, you don't ask what you're carrying. Instead, you ask what's wrong with you. That question slowly breaks people because nothing is wrong with you. You're human, and humans are not machines. Some people wake up every day with motivation, while others wake up with responsibility. Some people chase dreams freely, while others carry survival on their shoulders. You may be carrying financial pressure you were never trained for, family expectations you never chose, emotional wounds you never had time to heal, or the fear of failing again because you already know how painful it feels. While others move freely, you move carefully, because one mistake for you feels costly. That isn't laziness. That is weight. You try, even when it doesn't show. You wake up tired and still show up. You feel broken and still function. You feel lost and still move forward, even if it's slowly. Because your progress is quiet, the world assumes you're doing nothing. But survival is not loud, healing is not productive looking, and growth doesn't always move fast. Sometimes progress is simply not giving up, getting out of bed, and choosing to continue one more day. And that is more than enough. Burnout doesn't only come from working too much. Burnout comes from caring too much for too long without seeing results. It comes from giving effort with no appreciation, trying again after repeated failure, being strong for everyone else, and holding emotions with nowhere to release them. So when your body slows down and your mind resists effort, it's not because you're lazy. It's because something inside you is asking for rest. Some people were allowed to be careless. You had to be careful. Some people had backup plans. You had responsibility. Some people were allowed to fail. You had consequences. You grew up faster than you should have. You learned survival before success and patience before pleasure. You were strong too early, and strength without rest eventually becomes exhaustion. They say you lack motivation, but the truth is your motivation is buried under pressure, fear, and comparison. When every move feels risky and every failure feels permanent, your mind doesn't chase motivation, it seeks safety. So you pause, you hesitate, you overthink. Not because you don't want success, but because you're afraid of losing what little stability you have. That is not laziness. That is self-protection. Comparison quietly destroys you. You scroll and watch others winning, glowing, achieving, and you ask yourself, why not you? What you forget is that you don't know what they were given or what they didn't have to carry. Different starting lines, different support systems, different struggles. Comparing your journey to theirs is like judging a marathon runner by a sprinter's speed. Your race is different, and slower does not mean weaker. Rest is not quitting. You don't need to collapse to deserve a pause, and you don't need to break to justify rest. Even machines shut down to avoid damage, and even the strongest muscles need recovery. So if you're resting, resetting, or rebuilding, you're not falling behind. You're preparing for what comes next. One day, something will change, not loudly, not dramatically, but slowly. You'll wake up with a little more clarity, a little more energy, a little more belief. You'll start taking small steps again, rebuilding discipline gently, and stopping yourself from explaining your journey to people who never truly listened. Your comeback won't be announced, it will be noticed later. You don't need to hate yourself to succeed. Discipline doesn't mean punishing your soul or ignoring your pain. Real discipline means showing up even when it's hard, being patient with progress, and choosing consistency over perfection. Start small, start quietly, start imperfectly, but start again. You are becoming someone who understands struggle deeply, someone who doesn't judge easily, someone who knows the true value of effort. Your delays are teaching you resilience, your pauses are shaping your wisdom, and your struggles are building your character. One day, when life feels lighter, you'll look back and realize you were never lazy. You were carrying growth lessons and strength. So, if today you feel slow, tired, or behind, remember this: you are not lazy. You are human. You are healing. You are learning. And even if no one sees it right now, you are still moving forward. One step, one breath, one day at a time, and that is enough.